avalanche starts to retreat when it got warmer, all these rocks got deposited, and I'll show you, it's coming up here on the right hand side. And even these rocks on the side of the road here, they were all millions of years ago. See this rock coming up? It's actually split now with the heat, but incidentally, take note, that's a rental vehicle. I'll tell you about those in a minute. Juicy. This rock here, millions of years ago, that was in the heart of a glacier. And then as the glaciers retreated, it's just dropped it. If you rent a car in New Zealand or a van, you're not allowed on shingle roads. We've got to get special dispensation. The number of rental vehicles we see coming, look at that idiot. Oh, by the way, the speed limit here, 100 kilometers an hour. 100 kilometers an hour here. We do 60 kilometers top speed. If we go too slow, you feel all the vibrations. 60 is about right. So this is all dry and low because the northwest wind takes it, doesn't allow growth most of the way. But on the west coast there'll be a lot of bush and trees and things like that. I'm just wondering whether we'll see that motorbike a kilometre up, sprawled on the road. He just gets into the shingle. I've been doing this 9 years, and in 9 years I'd seen one vehicle that mistook a corner and went through the fence. This year I've seen two. No one got injured, but the vehicle was, and all three of them were rental vehicles. If you see there was a farmer's truck going past, and you see he's got a deck on the back and there'll be crates, and you'll see that the working dogs there. They have two types of dog. Now these ponds are just ponds. That's where the glaciers gouged out the land a hole, and then that's been filled by rainwater. It's not water fed at all. Bit like a highway today, all the cars. It's Sunday, so they would have been coming out here. There's a camping ground out here, and they're going home to go to work tomorrow. Here they've got their boats and etc. So we call this a shingle road or a gravel road. I always used to just call it a shingle road. Then an American woman said, "Oh John, I thought you was putting roof tiles down on the road because shingles are roof tiles in America." It's the same. We talk about these corners, we talk about them as being bends, and even Australians didn't know what I was talking about. If we talk about how many bends in a row, we're talking about how many corners in a row. Yeah, you're going to see the snow on the mountains here. Look, skidding, look, yeah. But Tammy and I, part of our job's qualifications is we've got to be trained in first aid. There's a first aid kit up here, but we don't want to use it on anyone, but we definitely don't want to use it on someone that's not a passenger. But they've been poisoned by the Department of Conservation because they're not New Zealand trees. They'll be poisoned, they'll be cut down, and they'll replant with New Zealand trees. Now, the good news about New Zealand is we don't have any snakes in New Zealand. We don't have any snakes, crocodiles, alligators, anything at all that can harm you. And before humans came here, we had native birds here. But over thousands of years they lost the ability to fly because there's no predators, they didn't need to fly. A good example of that is kiwi, our national bird. But when the humans came here, the early settlers, after a year they thought, well, we're getting bored, we need something to shoot. So they introduced rabbits. Now rabbits, one female rabbit a doe can produce 50 rabbits in its lifetime. So within a couple of years they realised they'd done a big mistake. They said, look, we've introduced a species we shouldn't have, we've made a mistake, how can we rectify it? So to rectify the problem they'd created, they introduced ferrets, stoats and weasels. Now the ferrets, stoats and weasels didn't run after the rabbits that could go fast, they ran after our native birds. As a result of that, 95% of our native birds are now extinct. See on the right, see all that grey about 1 o'clock on the mountain there? That's shale and shingle, that's erosion, shale and shingle. And that's what came down with the rivers and that from the mountains and formed Canterbury Plains over millions of years. I'll show you another example when we get up closer.
He's been under there, he's just surfaced. Now you can't see where he is obviously, but he just surfaced. Not watching this fast. Aye, that was. No wonder they used horses and so on. After climbing the mountain and coming back down, we decided we were exhausted and therefore forgot to take any more video and any more pictures and headed on back to Christchurch.
So that's just being, the cathedral there on the right, it's just being supported up until they raise the extra. It's 43 or 45 million dollars so short till they can complete it. So it's, when we say being mothballed, it's just been, for other words, it's quite a nice street out here. That you can't see it because trees. That's a woman of water. And on the left, you've got the woman of water, and just past this you'll see another one which is virtually obscured now, but it's Sir Edmund Hillary, who was the first man to conquer Mount Cook along with his guide. That's Hillary there, innocent. We're on Colombo Street. It's the main street of Christchurch. It goes from east to west. It's the longest street. It only deviates as it goes around the Cathedral Square. I'll be telling you history on the way back, but just very briefly, this is built on a swamp, the city. We talk about the first 4 ships that came here in 1850. Now they arrived in Lyttelton. It was 100 days non-stop on the ship, and they had barracks for them. Unfortunately, they had barracks for 300 people and there were 800. So the rest then had to climb over these port hills to look down on what they thought was going to be the